Phil, I have a short film that I'd like to show you.
What's it about?
It's a poem on Dr. Maya Angelou.
I've been studying her. Let's talk about her first before we watch it.
Sure. Dr. Maya Angelou is an African-American woman. She is an educator, a poet, and a writer of prose. She has also even been a director and an actor.
In an online biography by Hull on www.hutubiographies.com, her beginnings were very humble, growing up in the segregated South of the 1930s. The influences she had and the experiences she's had have been carefully collected and shared readily in colorful verse that has been described as wisdom. For over 40 years, her writing, performances, and orations continue to inspire us to celebrate diversity and not to fear to lead with our hearts.
Maya Angelou has also been described as the voice of the African-American woman. In the contents of her writing, her precise choice of words, and the tone and inflection of her voice, and the guile of her unique style, she speaks to us all. She makes us remember our own past, our discords, our harmonies, and brings us together. She tells us all that we have a responsibility of a greater potential. Dr. Maya Angelou was also asked to compose and read a poem in the inauguration of President William Jackson Clinton in 1993. The name of that poem is On the Pulse of Tomorrow. She was the second of only 2 poets to ever be asked to a presidential inauguration.
When you get to it, we have the spark in each of us to explode into greatness. Maya Angelou's life has been filled with many hardships. At an early age, she and her brother were sent to live with her grandmother in the rural town of Stamps, Arkansas, in the rural South. At age 8, she was raped. That experience withdrew her to where she did not speak for 5 years. Dr. Angelou's first book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, written in 1969, recounts the experiences of her early years, her experiences that gave her the tools to become the great communicator she is today.
She's become very skilled at using communication concepts,
The 5 canons of rhetoric,
articulation,
style and ethos,
and anaphora. The sometimes harsh environment she grew up in became the very foundation for her to find her voice. When you get to it,
she's not afraid to tell her story. Her life experiences have given her the tools to become the great communicator she is. Dr. Angelou's use of the 5 canons of rhetoric are very evident, even through her use of invention, how she addresses diverse audiences. She persuades the use of integrity and pathos as part of her ethos and our ethos in how we address people in our daily lives. Her use of memory is studied. Her style and delivery, it is so very precise, as is her use of articulation and the arrangement of her verses to illustrate a personal message about herself to a very discreet or a very diverse audience. It's uniquely powerful and gentle.
in her articulation, the clarity or forcefulness which she pronounces her words is very strong. She excels in using this device. S. Cujo, in her book, Maya Angelou and the Autobiographical Statement, agrees with me by saying that Maya's work is a triumph in the articulation of truth in simple, forthright terms.
Her unique style demonstrates her power of ethos. Her good character is incorruptible, and she has no tolerance for hate speech. In a 2002 interview on Oprah Winfrey, I quote, "I am bringing everything I ever knew, all the stories I ever read, everything good, strong, kind, and powerful. I bring it all with me into every situation, and I will not allow my life to be minimalized by anybody's racism, sexism, or ageism. I will not."
D.A. McPherson, in her book, Order Out of Chaos, the autobiographical works of Maya Angelou, written in 1990, says that the reader is able to define the unique vision of her work and its precise and individual illumination of reality.
In ethos, Greek for character, audience listen to and trust Dr. Angelo because she exhibits competence, as demonstrated by Maya's grasp of the subject matter and great moral character. Maya does this in the way that she delivers her message with wisdom and with love.
With anaphora, a rhetorical device in which Maya repeats a word or phrase at the beginning of successive phrases, clauses, or sentences. She uses anaphora very effectively in many of her works, often beginning with her stanzas with words like you, love, believe, do.
When you get to
it, we've talked about the practiced way that Dr. Angela uses for the 5 canons of rhetoric, which are invention, arrangement, style, memory, delivery.
How Maya Angelou's use of articulation is wonderfully powerful. We've also spoken about her style, how her style of speaking is so inclusive.
Her ethos is that of wisdom and love. Oh, and that film I mentioned earlier, it's a poem that Maya Angelou was asked to create and deliver in 1995 for the 50th anniversary of the founding of the United Nations. It's called A Brave and Startling Truth.
I've heard about that film.
It'll show how her use of anaphora is dramatically powerful and very useful in driving her message to the heart of the matter.
I'd love to watch it. Put it on when you get to it.
Sure, Phil. Let's watch.
We, little people, on a small and lonely planet, traveling through casual space, past the loose stars, across the way of indifferent suns, to a destination where all signs tell us it is possible and imperative that we discover a brave and startling truth. And when we come to it, to the day of peacemaking, when we release our fingers from fists of hostility and allow the pure air to cool our palms, when we come to it, when the curtain falls on the minstrel show of hate and faces crooked with scorn across the scene, when battlefields and coliseums no longer rate our unique and particular sons and daughters up with the bruised and bloody grass to lie in identical plots in foreign lands. When the rapacious